shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's a chilly start out there this morning. Temperatures are in the 20s and 30s, but colder air arrives later today. I'll show you just how low it will go tomorrow morning with the wind chill.
And we're tracking some icy spots still lingering on those roads this morning. This is a live look at 440 from the WRAL Storm Tracker.
Also, we have new information this morning. A man at the center of the hours-long Wake County search is in police custody. The charges he faces, including attempted murder.
Plus, a benefit concert tonight for a beloved Raleigh bar destroyed in a fire. The surveillance video that may help investigators nail down how the fire started. It was called the House of Art, and it was much more than just a bar. It was also a safe space, a creative space for artists and musicians. We'll get more into that in just a moment. First, thanks for joining us. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Great to have you along here. It is a cold start to our Tuesday. We better get used to settling into this because
Arctic air.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Elizabeth Gardner in the WRS Severe Weather Center. We have parts of our viewing area still snow on the ground, right?
Yeah, take a look at this. This is Roxborough. A big change actually from yesterday. That sunshine yesterday really melted a lot of the snow. It was really covering the sidewalks yesterday, and you can see they're mostly clear. Still some piles, though, sitting on the sides of the roads, and there are still some spots that have some slick spots on the roads, especially Person County, Northern Orange County. 35 degrees, so we're above freezing this morning. We are going to see Arctic-type air headed our way, but we're not really feeling it this morning. It's going to end up being tomorrow morning and Thursday morning that it feels so cold. 32 in Roxborough, 26 in South Hill, 29 in Goldsboro, 26 Fayetteville, and Southern Pines. Don't get me wrong, it's cold out there, but it's just going to be significantly colder tomorrow morning and Thursday morning. We hold it in the 20s and 30s. Finally, by 10 o'clock, we climb above freezing, and it will be a cooler afternoon. We'll see lots of sunshine with high temperatures in the mid-40s. We do still have rain on the way for the weekend. I'll talk about the timeline for that coming up.
We're in the WRAL Storm Tracker this morning, tracking icy road conditions. We'll give you a live look right now at 40 West and Cary. So we are on our way to Orange County. We hear reports that there's an icy road on McGowan Creek Road. We're hearing that road is icy, so we're going to go and check that out. But we know that several schools in our area, they will be delayed this morning because of those icy roads, including Halifax and Franklin County. So a lot of folks just need to take it slow today as they head out on their morning commute. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
A handful of schools are delayed or canceled this morning. That's because of the cold snap and the ice still on roads and sidewalks. Orange County schools and others are delayed this morning. Granville County, Warren County, and Mecklenburg County schools will be closed. Vance County schools are on remote learning today.
New this morning, a man at the center of an hours-long manhunt in Wake County is charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, and human trafficking. Deputies captured Dustin Letchworth shortly after 11 o'clock. Letchworth was taken into custody on West Judd Street in Zebulon. This new mugshot was taken just before 2 o'clock this morning. Letchworth ran from deputies yesterday when they tried to serve him with warrants. His charges are in connection to an assault that happened in Wake County on December 31st. At least 20 deputies and a search dog were involved in the manhunt.
Well, and Jeff, one of the things that happened last night was that emergency alert that went out around 11:30. This is what it looked like right here. And all clear from the Wake County Sheriff's Office saying that they have concluded the search and that the suspect is in the custody of the Sheriff's Office. But some people that don't even live in Wake County, and actually quite a few people, received this alert. We even have some people here at the station, some who live in Chatham County, some who live in Cumberland County, who received this alert. And it is not lost on the Wake County Sheriff's Office, apparently, as this is their Facebook post saying that they are aware people received an all clear alert, and they are working with their vendor as well as FEMA to determine why the message was sent to a wider audience than intended. So, of course, we'll be staying on this story and reaching out to the Sheriff's Office to see what specifically went wrong there. As soon as we have an update, we'll report it here on WRAL News.
Man accused of bringing a gun onto NC State's campus is due in court today. Court documents say Raleek White is charged with bringing a 9mm handgun to the area of the Carmichael Gymnasium yesterday. He's facing charges including breaking and entering, as well as bringing a gun onto educational property. Before the sun is up this morning, protesters plan to gather near the state Supreme Court in downtown Raleigh. This comes as an election for a seat on the court is still undecided. Republican Jefferson Griffin wants the court to throw out 60,000 ballots from its 2024 race against Democratic incumbent Justice Allison Riggs. New arguments in the case could be filed as soon as today. Starting at 6 this morning, protesters will read out all 60,000 names of the voters being challenged in support of those voters. Organizers say they will keep going for as long as it takes, likely well into the night.
Happening today, a benefit concert for a beloved Raleigh bar destroyed in a fire last week. Last Tuesday morning, the House of Art went up in flames. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us from downtown Raleigh now. And Laura, the cause of the fire remains under investigation, but that surveillance video from the business may help solve this mystery.
Jeff, that video is playing a critical role in this investigation. Here this morning, you can see the business taped off, all boarded up. And pay attention here. You can see it says House of Art, HOA, forever. So many people now supporting this business in the aftermath of this tragic event. I want you to take a look at your screen now. This is a photo of a woman caught on surveillance video. She's the last person seen on the property here moments before it went up in flames. Exactly 1 week now after this tragic event, tonight the community is hosting a benefit concert at the Poorhouse to raise awareness and money for the beloved business. There will be several different local DJs, artists performing, all of which have been touched in some way by this place they consider a safe space. The host of the event, known as A-Dub, tells me the business has left an everlasting impact on so many people, and now it's their turn to return the favor.
Let's not forget about House of Art. They still need us. We still need to help them out. I know they're figuring out things on their own side as their own business. But as the community and people who have gone to House of Art, it doesn't just stop this week or after the benefit concerts are wrapping up. We don't stop. We keep going. We keep supporting.
Keep supporting. So take a look at this. The community has raised more than $26,000 with a GoFundMe, with support coming in from across the country. That benefit concert, again, taking place at the Poorhouse. It's going to be from 7 to 11 p.m. here in downtown Raleigh. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Raleigh.
A multi-million-dollar upgrade to the Durham County Sheriff's Training Facility is moving forward. The Board of County Commissioners voted 3-2 last night to approve the project. The vote came after dozens of people spoke to share their thoughts about the $16 million plan. Some are concerned the project will result in underfunding of community programs.
The idea that we can both maintain a robust police force while fostering true community safety is fundamentally flawed.
The project has been 8 years in the making. It will add a 10,000 square foot building and renovate the firing range.
Today, the Wake School Board hopes to have a new member. The school board will interview 7 applicants for its open board seat. They'll represent communities near the county's southern border. The board oversees a $2.1 billion budget. It's also working on things like a district-wide cell phone policy. The seat opened up after board member Monica Johnson-Hostler was elected to a seat in the State House of Representatives.
Raleigh city leaders will meet today to talk about their strategic plan for the coming years. City Council will have a work session at 4 this afternoon. They'll talk about the process for developing the strategic plan for 2026 and beyond. They'll look at the results of community surveys that identify priorities to consider.
A funeral service is happening today for a Lenoir County man who died in a shooting in Hillsborough. DeAnthony Morgan died in that shooting December 30th, along with 16-year-old Zakira Wardlow. Police have not made any arrests in that shooting. The funeral service for Morgan is happening at 11 this morning at the Tabernacle of Prayer for All People in Goldsboro.
100,000 residents remain under evacuation orders as the Coastal Palisades fire rages in California. Firefighters are racing to contain the fires as gusty winds this week are expected to threaten the progress they've made. A new fire called the Auto Fire sparked overnight. The Coastal Palisades fire is now at least 11% contained, but moving inland toward communities near UCLA. At least 24 people are confirmed dead. The fires have swept through 40,000 acres. And now investigators are searching for the cause of the Palisades fire. Sources confirmed to NBC News they believe someone caused the fire, possibly with fireworks or unauthorized camping in the area. They say no possibilities are being ruled out. They're unsure if it was accidental or intentional.
President Joe Biden says a ceasefire and hostage release deal in Gaza is close. Talks are scheduled today in Qatar that could finalize the deal. Officials say a deal is closer than ever, but they are still waiting for official responses from both sides. 2 Israeli officials say Hamas is expected to release 33 hostages during the first phase of the deal. The LA Rams found a home away from home at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. They dominated the Minnesota Vikings in their wild card round playoff game there last night. The game was moved from LA to Arizona because of the Southern California wildfires. Didn't slow down the Rams. They beat the Vikings 27-9 and will now travel to the Philadelphia Eagles, play them in the next round. You can watch that game Sunday at 3 o'clock on WRAL. A prisoners of war exchange, what we know about Ukraine's capture of 2 North Korean troops and President Zelensky's goal to get Ukrainian soldiers back home.
And a realtor suspected of murder. What we've learned about the North Carolina man suspected of killing an elderly couple he sold a home to.
And we give you this live look in downtown Raleigh, the Natural Science Museum there this morning. The cold isn't letting up anytime soon, and meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us about which parts of the area could see that wind chill in the single digits first thing tomorrow morning.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
444, taking a look at some cool temperatures this morning. 28 in Wilson, it's 35 in Durham, and 26 degrees in Fayetteville. It's pretty out there. If you happen to head out in the next little while, you may notice the big old moon. It's full out there right now, looking really pretty. We do have some colder air that's going to come spilling in today. The afternoon highs will be a little bit cooler, and we're really going to feel it tomorrow morning and Thursday morning. Tomorrow morning in particular with the wind chill. We're going to go over that in just a little bit. It's cold out there this morning, too. Don't get me wrong. Temperatures upper 20s to right around 30 and a touch of a breeze. But you know, if you're going to be looking at getting outside for exercise, even with temperatures in the upper 20s, this morning will feel more comfortable than tomorrow morning. This afternoon, cooler than yesterday, highs in the upper 40s. Coming up, talking about some rain for the weekend.
Ukrainian President Zelensky says he is ready to hand over North Korean soldiers in exchange for Ukrainians held captive in Russia. Ukraine officials announced over the weekend they captured 2 North Koreans in Russia. Neither Russia nor North Korea has acknowledged North Korean troops are helping to fight in the war or if they were captured. This video shows what Ukraine calls the capture of those 2 North Korean soldiers. Ukraine also released video of the 2 injured North Koreans answering questions from their captors. One says he thought he was in a training exercise and not fighting Ukraine. Another says his family doesn't know where he is.
This morning, a warning from the FBI about potential copycat threats after the deadly New Orleans truck attack. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security issued a public service announcement to highlight potential threats from violent extremists. They say their concerns are due to the persistent appeal of vehicle ramming as a tactic. They urge people to report any suspicious activity to law enforcement. A North Carolina realtor charged with murder in the deaths of 3 people appeared in court and he cursed at the judge. David Lever is accused of killing an elderly couple and a retired ECU professor in Pitt County. 64-year-old Enrique Reyes was shot and killed at his home. 80-year-old Anthony Gribble and his 76-year-old wife, Paula Gribble, were also shot and killed at their home. Investigators say the Gribbles used Lever as their realtor when they bought their home in 2014. Pitt County Sheriff Paula Dance says at least 50 weapons were found inside Lever's home and inside his van.
The investigation of these cases lead us to believe that there would have been additional victims had a family member of the victims not intervened until our deputies were able to arrive.
The judge did not grant Lever bond. He appointed a lawyer and set Lever's next court date for January 29th.
It is 4:47 and we are off to a dry start. We're going to have a stretch of some dry days, but today is normal cool. We'll put it at that. And then tomorrow is when we'll really take the Arctic plunge and that Arctic air gets in. But either way you slice it and dice it. It's cold. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. I suppose we'll feel it tomorrow for sure, Elizabeth, but today it's still cold to me.
Yeah, it is definitely upper 20s, low 30s. Tomorrow morning, the temperatures will be colder and we'll have the wind chill to go along with it. So we could be talking about single digits to teens. So, I mean, significantly colder for tomorrow, but it's still cold enough out there. Still some snow here on the sidewalk in Roxborough yesterday. This time, the sidewalks were covered in snow. The roads were looking fine. There's still some snow piled up in the corner there of the sidewalk. So a little bit of it's left, but definitely some good improvement. However, as Renee and Jeff were telling you guys at the beginning of the newscast, there is still a number of school systems up near the Virginia line that are on delay or closed. So still need to be careful out there, especially on those back roads, side streets. 35 is our temperature, so we're above freezing officially at RDU right now. But in Roxborough, it's at 32. It's 29 in Henderson, 28 in Rocky Mount and Wilson, 29 in Goldsboro. We head down to the south, 24 in Sanford and Irwin. So actually some colder temperatures down here, 23 in Smithfield, 24 Rayford, 26 degrees in Southern Pines. And we'll check out what's happening. Now, I apologize. Our camera's a little bit fuzzy, but that's the full moon right there. And of course, we're showing you the tower right here in our backyard. It is lit in blue for clear skies out there for us this morning. We love this. This is from Dennis Oglesby. He sent us this moon, the full moon, and then this is Mars that is exiting on the other side of that. That happened at about 10:30 or so last night. If you happen to catch Tony Rice yesterday, he was explaining how Mars was going to pass behind the moon last night, and I love it. He was able to catch that photograph. Go to WRAL.com/report it and send us what you have. Here comes our Arctic blast, and we'll start to feel that overnight tonight as well as Wednesday into Thursday. We're going to see colder temperatures. Look at where we have the sub-zero wind chills. That's all to our north and then back into the mountains. But we're going to have some really cold wind chills as well. Take a look at what we're going to experience tomorrow morning. 11 in Raleigh, 20 in Fayetteville, -4 in Boone. And we take it a little bit closer in. We'll zoom in, looking at 8 in Roxborough, 11 in Durham, 16 in Clinton. So very cold for tomorrow morning with that wind chill. We still have forecast of rain over the weekend. Nothing frozen, but we'll talk about the timeline coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Dementia on the rise. What a new study reveals about the number of people in America with dementia and how that number is expected to go up.
The Triangle is going vegan. A new challenge being dubbed Veganuary is encouraging people to adopt the lifestyle for 2025. Even Durham's mayor is getting in on it. WRAL health reporter Grace Haba shares what the challenge is all about and how to do it safely.
A vegan wave is taking over the Triangle.
I have seen a lot of growth, especially after COVID.
Veena Barajdar, owner of Pure Vegan Cafe, says her North Raleigh and Durham locations have seen a surge in customers wanting to give veganism a try.
Up until I should say a few years ago, it was like, oh, vegan food is cardboard. But no, it's not. And especially for the country that I come from, India, most of our food is by default vegan.
One of the biggest difficulties for anyone starting a new diet is eating out. But a local challenge is helping make that transition a little easier by highlighting Triangle area restaurants serving up vegan cuisine.
The Triangle Vegan Chef Challenge highlights 16 different restaurants, including Pure Vegan Cafe.
Eating out can be a challenge if you're vegan because there's little things that you may not realize might not be vegan.
UNC Rex dietitian Shelley Wegman says veganism has many benefits.
It's been shown to lower cholesterol and reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. It can decrease the risk for certain cancers. It can improve blood pressure.
As with any new diet, Wegman cautions her clients it's all about balance, and preparation is key.
There are some specific concerns with inadequate protein. There's also concerns with certain vitamins and minerals. Not getting enough B12 has been shown to cause some cognitive issues.
Adding more tofu, almonds, and broccoli to your grocery run can be a great way to get enough calcium. Beans and lentils can help increase your protein, and nutritional yeast can help keep your B12 in check.
When you're in a grocery store, anything that's on the front of the package is a selling point. Flip the package over and go to the nutrition facts label.
Grace Haba, WRAL News.
Bull City Mayor's challenge is still encouraging people to take the pledge to go vegan. They tell us a little more than 60 people have signed up online so far.
Dementia cases in the U.S. are more frequent than previously thought, and they could double over the next few decades. That's according to a new study published in the Nature Medicine journal. It says roughly 42% of Americans over 55 years old will get dementia. The Alzheimer's Association defines dementia as a generic term for the loss of memory, language, and other cognitive abilities. The study also found Black adults and women are more likely to develop dementia than white adults and men. Downtown Raleigh will soon have another place for people to eat and hang out. Look at this, Garden West. The 10,000 square foot development is expected to feature 2 or 3 restaurants with a lot of patio space. Several developments have recently sprung up downtown or will soon, including Smoky Hollow, 400H, and the Creamery. The developer says these investments show downtown Raleigh is bouncing back from the COVID slump.
There still is an opportunity for downtown Raleigh to be better than it was even before COVID.
Garden West developers invested $1 million into the renovation of a historic 1950s industrial building, and that new building is expected to open this fall.
Just ahead, we are keeping an eye on the roads for you this morning as you look live. I-40 in Orange County. Ken Smith will tell us if there's any trouble spots out there as he reports from the traffic center coming up.
And a new wildfire sparks overnight in California. The major concern firefighters have as they work to control the already existing flames.
Plus, a benefit concert for a bar in Raleigh. How organizers are coming together after fire destroyed the business.